you doing today? This is Kimmy Diamond, and you here with Music Link with Kimmy Diamond. Content brought to you by Music Arena. Yay! We finna get started. So grab your popcorn, if you have some fries or whatever, breakfast, brunch, whatever, so you can enjoy the content that we have going on here. So the first segment we finna start is bar time. Now, bar time is a segment that we do to break down bars from latest singles from artists. So first, we got to start by with Super by Corday. Yes, Corday. Um, he's coming back. He's coming back. Yay! And I love the artwork. It's very, very dope. I love it. It's very creative. So the first bar that we have here is that this is real life. This is real life. Ain't no acting it. All these rap ninjas, they be Brad Pitting. Now, disclaimer, we do have to clean up the lyrics. I do love this paradox here. I do love this paradox. And this song is basically him talking about like his real life experiences and also shouting out other artists and everybody in the same culture as him that is doing it. So it's more like, yeah, I'm showing love. And at the end of the day, I have to make sure that I reward myself as well. So it's like a rewarding track. And I like that. But I do like this bar here. And we all know that Brad Pitt is an actor. So yeah, but you like this is reality here. So that's what that bar meant. And then the second one is Ninjas asking why I dropped the YBN. I had no other choice. We ain't on that ish. You know that janky ish. I'm not condoning it. Um so y'all know that he was a part of the collective YBN. And that during that whole process, it was a lot of, like he said, jankiness going on with management and people who was in that collective, the artists was very unhappy with the management and they don't really like own it. So they didn't feel, especially Corday, he speaking for himself, he didn't feel the need to carry along with that YBN on his name because he felt like he can't get any benefit from it because it's not like he doesn't own it. So he was just explaining that, yeah, back then, yeah, we was around that time. Yeah, so I'm glad that he acknowledged that. Now, the music video for this single, I don't know if it's going to be out. I don't know if there's visuals involved with this single, but hopefully it is. That's some nice artwork, bro. But yeah, so yeah, I had to say that. So secondly, the second single we finna talk about is Thought I Was Gonna Stop by Papoose featuring Lil Wayne, produced by Timbaland. Yeah, we talked about Timbaland previously on this channel. Now, dope artwork. I do love the artwork. It's very dope here. And Papoose, he's one of my favorite MCs, of course. You know what I'm saying? A veteran, as you would say. So, so yeah. So first, we're gonna start with while y'all was on Clubhouse, I was in the dugout waiting to get up to the bat and knock the home run out. Oh, golly, this was the first bar. This was the first bar here. This is one of those tracks where, I'm just spitting. So, yeah, we all know what Clubhouse is. And, yeah, so he's just basically saying like, yeah, I'm putting that work in. I'm going from base to base to base. I'm not sitting here just talking and just doing nothing. I'm actually putting the work in. So that's what that bar is right there. I like it. And secondly, I give you a bloodbath, and then I let the blood out, put the stopper out of the bottom and drain the tub out. I do like that. That was a nice hyperbole there, a very nice hyperbole. And I'm like, okay, all right, Papoose. And yeah, so I really do like that one. It was very creative. And it's very creative. I really do like it. And we all know that Papoose, when it comes to these bars, he is not like, he's not half-assing it. He's giving it a whole 100%, especially like with the alphabet slaughter. I think that's what it's called. It's very creative here. And this was like the first verse. He kicked it off very well, and I really, really do like that. So again, shout out to Papoose, shout out to Lil Wayne, Timbaland, Corday. Keep on doing your thing. Now for the single for this, I don't know if there's visuals for it yet. Hopefully it is, because this is the single that is coming out from his new project September. So hopefully we get visuals for that. So yeah, that is it for bar time. Now the second segment we're finna get into is flowers. Okay, now flowers is a concept of segment that we do to give either rappers or producers, anybody who contribute to the hip hop culture, their flowers, who've been doing this for a long time, so that they don't feel unappreciated or underappreciated. Bow Wizzle, Bow Wow. Yes, we giving flowers to Bow Wow. Okay, we giving flowers to Bow Wow. Okay, he started off with with the child rap, the one of the first people to do it. Okay, now this was around my time. Okay, I grew up on Bow Wow, literally. Okay, so this right here, of course, is gonna be a walk in the park for me. Okay, I was born in '98, so of course. So yeah, of course he's a rapper, actor, and television presenter. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been doing this since 3. He was acknowledged by Snoop Dogg. That's how he got his name, Lil Bow Wow. That's how he started off, as Lil Bow Wow. So he was acknowledged by Snoop Dogg, and he was supposed to be on death row. Now that is a fact, and you do see a cameo of Bow Wow on Snoop Dogg's video "Gin and Juice." I was just watching that video yesterday, so yeah. But I guess something went wrong, and Jermaine Dupri met him in 1998, and eventually he got on So Def. So yeah, but he still have a relationship with Snoop to this day, so that's a good thing. So his debut album, Beware of Dog, okay, 2000, that came out in 2000 when he was just 13, and this really cemented his name into hip hop, being one of the youngest who did it. And the singles that came out from that album was Bounce With Me, Ghetto Girls, Puppy Love, Bow Wow, That's My Name. My favorite is Ghetto Girls. That's will always be my favorite song off that album. And of course, the labels that is involved with that project is So Def and Columbia Records. So yeah, this was his first album, and of course, it went platinum. And having his audience from kids to adults, right? From kids to adults, everybody loved Bow Wow. All right, he was on commercials and everything, and he was getting features too. Like, he was the young ones who did it. I'm pretty sure when y'all watch, him and Soulja Boy and listening to his past singles, y'all was very surprised on how many singles he was on and how many features that he had. So yeah, so in 2002, Doggy Bag came out. That's his second album that he did. And Like Mike. Now, Like Mike is like one of my favorite movies that I remember to this day. And that was when he was starting to rise off top. I'm pretty sure that was his acting debut. And yeah, it did great. It did great. And of course, from that soundtrack of that movie, he did the song called Basketball, featuring various artists on there. So so yeah, during that year 2002, he dropped Little from Bow Wow because he was getting older, and he felt like Little is just not like helping out with his name, I guess, like pushing him to the right direction. So he felt like he should drop Little from out his name, and he just became Bow Wow, which makes sense because you can't be little for a long time. You know what I mean? You can be only so little for a long time. But yeah, so, and then later on, he did more albums. Unleashed came out, and then Wanted, and then Price of Fame. I could go on. And then that joint album that he did with Omarion, Face Off, which is my favorite. And also, we all know Marion from B2K. Y'all saw B2K, little cameo in the beginning of Ghetto Girls music video. I'm getting old. But yeah, so yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that time. Now, he did many film and TV appearances. So he did Moesha, he did the Steve Harvey show, he did Roll Bounce. Now, I gotta say, this was around the time when it comes to television appearances, where when artists come, like making appearances on TV shows, it's like a real big thing, right? It's a real big thing, and it definitely helped the artists to get like more attraction to fans and stuff like that. But this was around the time where like getting a TV appearance from like an artist was a huge thing. And then, Roll Bounce again is one of my favorite movies, one of the well-known skating movies. Uh, and the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Hurricane Season, and Entourage. And he was on many TV shows, but that's just the highlights, but on many TV shows. And in 2013, he hosted BET's 106 in Park until it was off air. Now, he always called himself Mr. 106 in Park. So when that news broke out, I'm like, okay, this makes sense, because he always called himself, Mr. 106 in Park. I am old talking about 106 in Park. Remember that? Oh my goodness, I'm getting so old. And as of lately, he been doing partnerships with Ciroc, and also he has his own do-rag line made by Kiss. Yes, the group Kiss, called Bow Wow X Power Wave Lux Design. And he is everywhere, from the barbershops, from the beauty supply stores. Hey, that's good money. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. But but yeah, I have to say personally, Bow Wow is like one of my favorites, just all around favorites, And I remember the time where it was like, when it comes to us girls, it's like, what do you want to be? You want to, you with little Bow Wow or you with little Romeo? I do remember that time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was like a good time to be a kid, But yeah, I do remember that. And he used to have bobbleheads, I think. But Bow Wow did a whole lot. He's definitely a veteran, especially how young he is now. To be considered as a veteran is a very huge deal. It's a very huge thing. You know what I mean? And I definitely believe that he needs to be acknowledged for his work and everything that he did over the years. He definitely should be mentioned when it comes to the hip hop culture, especially being as young as he was, rapping at 3. You know what I mean? That's, to some people, that's unheard of. You know what I mean? Like, that's impossible. You just start talking and now you rapping. But yeah, he definitely is a pioneer in my book. So shout out to Bow Wizzle, Bow Weezy. Keep on doing your thug thizzle. And and yeah, so next thing we finna get into is biz after music. Now, this is a segment that we do when it comes to rap artists, like ventures that they doing in the business, whether it's investing or endorsing, anything that's business involved. So we finna start off with Nas. Now, this is a good thing here. Nas is into a hip hop masterclass. Yeah, a hip hop masterclass with Nas, and he's basically breaking down storytelling. I'm like, wow, this is a huge thing, because we all know that Nas, when it comes to like storytelling, conscious rap and stuff like that, that is Nas's lane. So for him to do a hip hop masterclass is a very huge deal. And if you a rapper who is like struggling trying to like rap and find your niche and stuff like that, I really think that you should consider taking this class and getting it from the vet himself. Man, this is just amazing, So I really do like this. And he's doing a 12-part video series on, storytelling, from breaking it down, like the concepts and stuff like that of storytelling, to advance storytelling in your rhymes. And I definitely do like that. And this is definitely a good move that he should do. And yeah, he quoted saying that it's all about giving what you need in chapters, increments, and giving you the vibe. And he said that to Complex. And again, this is a very good thing that he's doing, because I mean, it's only so many artists, especially in this generation, that's into storytelling. So again, shout out to Nas. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. So kudos to him. And we finna go to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is buying Coastal Dispensary. This this Dispensary. I hope I said that right. Um, but yeah, so he is into the cannabis business. Okay, he's in the cannabis business, and his holding company is willing to have full access to Coastal Holdings Company LLC, and we talking about 16.2 million in cash and 40 millions, $4 million, including the dispensary location in California. So this is a very like huge thing. We're talking about like equity here. And we all know that Jay-Z is that businessman, always been a hustler ever since we know his name. So I'm not surprised by this. You know what I mean? One thing about Jay-Z that you can learn from is that do not put all your eggs into one basket. And that's definitely that's the epitome of Jay-Z. That's definitely what he's teaching us here after all these years, from labels, from clothes, alcohol, like you name it. And Jay-Z, of course, put his 2 cents in there and made a whole bunch out of it, double that 2 cents. So yeah, so again, shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to Nas. Very good moves that they doing there. So yeah, we finna get to compare and contrast. Compare and contrast is a segment that we do from either an artist or a producer, or anybody in the hip hop culture who has similarities, yet they are different. They have their own lane going on. So yeah. Jermaine Dupri and Dr. Dre. Yeah, Jermaine Dupri and Dr. Dre. That's what we're doing here. Now, people like, oh, well, what about Diddy? No, let me tell you something. These two, when it comes to similarities, you're going to find out. But yet they are very different, okay? So both of these producers was involved in building labels, okay? If it wasn't for them, some of these labels that I'm finna mention would not exist. Okay, so Jermaine Dupri owned So Def, and then Dr. Dre co-owned and co-found Death Row Records. And then later on in the years, he started owning his own label, Aftermath. Okay, and we all know Aftermath due to Eminem and 50 Cent. So, so yeah, and also they both produced for R&B artists, as you believe. So, yeah, and then they both use samples in their music production. They do. They both use samples in their music production. If you really listen closely, especially with Jermaine Dupri's music production, you can tell that certain things are sampled. Now, let's get to the contrast part. Now, when it comes to Dr. Dre, of course, he came out a little bit earlier than Jermaine Dupri. He came out in the 80s with NWA. He was the primary producer for NWA and Death Row Records. Of course, when you listen to Death Row, of course, they have production made by Dr. Dre. So that ain't no surprise. So his well-known music production, all right, this is outside from NWA and Death Row Records. Since I already said that he's the primary producer, ain't no need to go down that catalog. That's a long catalog. I'm gonna go outside of that. So Let Me Blow Your Mind by Eve featuring Gwen Stefani. This was one of Eve's biggest hits. Till this day, it still plays on the radio. It still is in commercials, ads. It's like at this point, I'm pretty sure you heard that song before. And Break Your Neck by Busta Rhymes, one of my favorite Busta Rhymes hits. Okay, yeah, this was when Busta still had, saying the dreadlocks, and We in the Club by 50 Cent. One of his biggest hits ever. Like, I was surprised that this just only went gold. I'm like, what? In the beginning, I'm pretty sure it's platinum now. But yeah, this is one of 50's biggest hits ever. You hear this at the birthday parties, the functions, advertisements, commercials, ads, you name it, you heard this song. This song was like, I'm pretty sure everybody's go-to. And out of Control by 50 Cent and featuring Mom D. His production sound. Now, when it comes to Dr. Dre, he loves to use the kick, bass, of course, the piano riff, and snare and sniff. Now, it makes sense because Still Dre, that song by Dr. Dre, the piano was like the primary like instrument on that song. So I'm not surprised. Like, go back and listen to like Dr. Dre's and go back to his catalog. You know, there's a piano in there somewhere. Which I ain't gonna lie, piano is a nice instrument that you can use, and it doesn't matter what genre it is. It's amazing. Now, when it comes to Jermaine Dupri, you see, Jermaine Dupri has more of an R&B catalog than Dr. Dre. He produced for Mariah Carey, Janet. Now, Mariah Carey, I mean, to produce for Mariah Carey, that's a huge deal. Okay. And of course, he is the primary producer for So Def. So we finna get into that. So his well-known music productions here is Funkified. So yeah, by the Brat. Yeah. Now a lot of people know the Brat due to this song, and this is like everybody's favorite song by the Brat. Jump by Criss Cross. I'm the miggity Mac Daddy. Yeah, you thought I can't do that? So yeah, by Jump by Criss Cross. And Grills by Nelly. Now everybody sing Grills to this day, and this was around when people was just like having platinums on their teeth, gold on their teeth. This was around that time. So yeah, and I think they like me. Hey, the So Def remix, okay, by the Franchise Boy featuring Da Brat and Bow Wow. And yeah, Bow Wow played this while he was doing his segment with Soulja Boy. So yeah. So he not only he produced for artists, he wrote songs for artists, which is one thing that he got up when it comes to Dr. Dre. He got one up on is that he wrote singles for other artists. And I'm like, yeah, he did, and that's just amazing. So he's just an all around, just a music shell. When it comes to Jermaine Dupri, he's an all around music shell. And yeah, his production sounds, he used 808 for the kick, a drum kit, an MPC for sampling, and as a bass line. So yeah, again, shout out to Jermaine Dupri and Dr. Dre. If it was not for them, you wouldn't get no Death Row hits, and you wouldn't get no So Def hits, and just plethora of artists, catalog, So again, shout out to them. They created that sound. Now we're gonna get to the last segment, okay, called Returning to the Capsule. This is when we're gonna go back to the hip hop catalog, and we're gonna talk about albums that was like around that time, whether it's in the 2000s, 90s, we just going to reflect on it. So first, we're going to talk about the Black Album by Jay-Z, okay? One of my favorite Jay-Z albums, okay? This is my favorite, all right? This is my absolute favorite. I was just listening to this the other day. Now, this was released on November 14, 2003. Singles from this album: Change Clothes. Hey! Yeah, Change Clothes by Jay-Z featuring Pharrell. And Get That Dirt Off Your Shoulders. Yeah, produced by Timbaland, okay? And I Got 99 Problems, but ain't one. Hey! Okay. Oh my goodness. I was just listening to this like the other day. Now, this was certified platinum, okay? This was certified platinum. Hopefully one day this become diamond. Now, I got to say, this album, you get a lot of in my opinion, you get a lot of memorable hits from Jay-Z. I swear, this album, Encore's on there. What more can I say? Like, it's a lot of memorable hits on this album. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people love Reasonable Doubt and In My Lifetime, Volume 2, and you know what I mean? But this right here was that there. Okay. It peaked number one on top rap albums, US top R&B hip hop albums, and US Billboard 200. It's all Billboard charts. Now, if you was around that time, you would know that this was Jay-Z's last album. This is when he said that he was going to retire. And then next thing you know, he comes back with Kingdom Come, I believe. You know what I mean? But this was around that time where he claimed that this was his last album, So yeah, we was around that time. But yeah, this was one of my favorite albums by Hove. Okay, so second album we're finna get into Speaker Box and The Love Below by Outkast. Okay, this album right here really was their commercial success right here. We're finna get into it. Why? Now, this was released in September 23rd, 2003. Hits from this album. Hey, y'all, this was played in movies, you name it, commercials. Still to this day, I still hear Hey, y'all. Okay? The Way You Move featuring Sleepy Brown. Hey, baby. You hear this at every black functions, all that. Roses, Ghetto Music / Prototype, okay? Now, this was a blend of funk, pop, and jazz, okay? And this was a double disc, mind you. This had 39 tracks in there. Yes, 39 tracks. They could have made it to 40, but nah, we're going through 39. So yeah, and this peaked at number one US top R&B hip hop albums, US Billboard 200, and this is certified 11 times platinum. They finna get diamond out of this. And Hey Y'all had a lot of awards. Like every single that's on this album had a lot of awards and accolades behind it. Like it was crazy. But yeah, this is like one of their big commercial success ever. Like many memorable moments on this one. Now, we're finna get to the last one. Restless by Exhibit. Okay. So this was released on December 12th, 2000. Yeah. And the singles from this is X, Front to Back, and Get Your Walk On. Okay. And this is peaked at number one on US top R&B and hip hop albums on Billboard. This was certified platinum. Okay. Get Your Walk On is my favorite. Okay. And nice West Coast album. You know what I mean? Shout out to Exhibit, shout out to Outkast, shout out to Jay-Z. Okay. Now, what do you like about this? Okay, so tell us what you like from Bar Time. What's your favorite Bow Wow album or movie? What's your favorite Jermaine Dupri and Dr. Dre type of song or album that they was involved in? And what is your favorite Return to the Capsule album that I just mentioned? You know what I mean? Like, did you love the Black Album? Did you love Speaker Box and The Love Below? Do you remember Restless? Do you like Restless? And just let me know what your thoughts are. And this has been Kimmy Diamond with Music Link. Music Link with Kimmy Diamond. Content brought to you by Music Arena. And I hope y'all guys enjoyed this episode. So